let's go.
Hi, Kat Chancellor with Stamp Art Connection and StampArtConnection.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I want to show you a online exclusive that will be available in May. And this is this one right here. It's called the Silly Old Bear Sweet Collection, and you can see that it comes with designer series paper, dies, and 2 stamp sets, as well as a 3D embossing folder. Now this is basically Winnie the Pooh. You have a 100 Acre Woods 3D embossing folder, silly old friends, stamps, and some wonderful sweet words and labels, as well as this wonderful designer series paper. So let me bring in the complete suite. So here are the wonderful stamps of all the little Pooh Bear animals and characters, including you have 3 images of Pooh, you have Eeyore, you have the wonderful Kanga, the rabbit, and Tigger, as well as some honey pots and the wise old owl. Now, I have all of these right now on my Stamparatus because I have stamped and then I have colored all the different little characters here using my stamping blends. I do not have, look at the wonderful little owl, I don't have the colors for the new in colors yet. I have the stamps, but I haven't bought the stamping blends. So a lot of the colors that are in this set are part of the in colors, but because Stampin' Up! Has such great color coordination, I use some other colors that I'm going to show you that you may have in your craft room. And here's the wonderful little, look at the little honey pots there, and so I will share those with you. Now you can see I used my stamp sheet that I demonstrated in my last video, took the figures, all my stamps, and I did get some very fine Sharpies and I outlined where my stamps are so I know where everything goes on this stamp sheet. So I just wanted to show you the technique that I just wanted to share with you. There's also all these wonderful dies. You can cut out all these figures with these dies, but I just went ahead and stamped these using my Stamparatus on a large sheet, and I used my standing cut to go ahead and cut those, and they came out just perfectly. The additional stamps are the sweet words and labels stamps, which are oh bother, never hurts to keep looking up, old friends are best friends. It has these wonderful stamps. Look at all these wonderful dies that come with this set. You get all of these outline dies as well as some acorns and some leaves that you can put together some shapes, and these wonderful framelits for some of your sentiments. And I'm going to show you why these are going to be really important, how you can use them with the designer series paper. So that is the other portion of this collection. You also get this wonderful 3D embossing folder. It's 6 by 8.5. It's huge, but look at the detail, just wonderful detail of the 100 Acre Wood. You have streams running through it, you have the woods, you have Winnie the Pooh sitting here, and then you have a little compass rose up at the top. Then finally, let me move these aside because I cannot stop raving about the beauty of this designer series paper. So you get 12 by 12, but you get several of these sheets which have these wonderful little medallions, and these fit perfectly with these dies that you want to use. This die right here, which is the second one in from this large group, and you can just go ahead and cut all of those there. And it has some wonderful little vignettes of Winnie the Pooh and Piglet, the famous one with him going up in the balloon. You got Eeyore, you got Kanga, and then the beautiful patterns behind. Additionally, all of these can be used with your framelits as well, and then just some beautiful pictures. The 100 Acre Woods. There's little Winnie the Pooh there climbing in the trees. This is a wonderful rendition of the 100 Acre Woods here. More. And then finally, again, these images are not in the dies, but you can go ahead and cut those out. I love the designer series paper. I love the attention to detail. You can just see all the wonderful different patterns that they have for this wonderful collection as part of the new online exclusives that will be available in May. So put that on your list because this is going to sell out and you are going to want to get it. My first project that we're going to make is a very simple Z-fold card, and we're going to use the images that come out of the designer series paper. And I did use some acetate. There's my little acorns. Very simple card. We're just going to pull that apart, and there's my little Pooh sitting there. And this is one of the dies, cuts out this nice little tree trunk that he sits at, and I use the images from the designer series paper. So that's project number 1. Okay, I am using the colors that are featured in this designer series paper are Barely Blush, Basic Black, Cajun Craze, Cherry Cobbler, Crumb Cake, Early Espresso, Golden Glow, that's a new color, and Hydrangea Hue, Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, Pecan Pie, Timid Tiger, and Very Vanilla. This is Old Olive cardstock, and you will need to make the Z-fold card. We're going to need a piece of basic white, 11 by 4 and a quarter, and then we're going to score this. I used acetate in the original card that I made, but I think I'm going to try this card. I'm going to make it a little differently. I'm going to have a strip, and then I'm going to put some designer series paper on that. So this has to be, about an inch by 11 inches, the whole width of your card. And then a layer, 4 by 5 and a quarter, and then these two panels are going to be your side panels that are going to fold over, and those are going to be 2.5 by 4. So you're going to need 2 of those. These we're going to run through our 3D embossing folder. Then you're going to need the medallions, and I already cut a sheet that just have different images on them. You're going to need to pick one of these, and there's another sheet of DSP that has these images as well that I'm going to cut and use as part of our background. So that sheet is also part of the DSP. I've already cut it up so you didn't see it, but it really offers some really cute backgrounds, including this little Pooh Bear here, which is what I used for the card. I took that piece and I cut it so that you can open it up and see it. Okay, so here's the layout. I'm going to take this piece and cut it, but I want to lay it out on these 2 panels here. And then I chose one of the scenes from the DSP that's going to go over here, and that's what I've used in this card here. I'm also going to pull in my little Pooh Bear, and I have already cut stump here that I'm going to have to pull in a sponge dauber and some inks to ink that. I'm also going to put together some acorns that may go on here to embellish. I've cut out a strip. Instead of using the acetate, I'm going to use a strip of the DSP that has the 100 Acre Wood right there. I'm going to need a little honey jar right there in Pooh's lap. Okay, so that is project number 1. I'm going to pull in another piece that we're going to cut. I've already cut the layers for this piece, and I have my bottom piece here. This one, I want to use this scene right here, sitting there having tea. I like the idea of having Pooh. And see, here's the tree with the little red door. I'm going to put the little red door over here. I'm going to have Pooh on the outside. You open it up, he's going to go to the party. So you're going to see him coming over. Now this portion I haven't figured out yet, so I'm going to fill this in with something. Oh, I know. I also wanted to add Kanga right here. She's going to be greeting Pooh. Okay, for our third card, I'm going to bring in my layers here. I'm going to have this medallion right here. I have taken this die and I've cut out these trees that I'm going to use. I will probably pull in this piece, and I may cut that in half for these two panels. I would like to put in the Pooh and Piglet right there. So you see Pooh and Piglet. When it folds over, you're going to see the trees, and then when you open it, you're going to have Pooh and Piglet sitting there looking up at the trees. So I just wanted to kind of lay out my compositions, and again I'm going to take another strip because I just kind of wanted to show you. I love this set. I'm just not going to make one. I'm going to make three, one of which is going to copy this piece. Okay, so this is my composition. I'm going to pull in a tray right here, and I want to just kind of line these up here. I have three compositions that I want to put together, so I just want to keep all my elements separate right there. Okay, so there are my elements. I'm going to put those aside, and here are my strips. I can just put these aside for now. Here are my panels. Now the first thing I want to do is to take my 3D embossing folder, and we're going to open this up, and this is the direction of the 3D embossing folder. You're going to have this little compass rose here in the corner, and what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to lay these out, these two panels here, so that they do kind of come together, and that's going to be, I'm going to emboss that for all of these, and then I'm going to do my last panel at the end. So I have used my embossing folder, and I've embossed all my panels for all three cards. So I'm just basically going to slip these together. This is the card base. For the card base, let's grab our scoreboard, and we're going to score this at 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. And you can see that when I bend this, there you go. This will create our card. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. Then we're going to have to pull in our bands, and we're going to do that the same ways. Going to go like this. Turn this, and so it's going to go like that. That's how we're going to open that up. So if you kind of turn these upside down, that's the direction they're going to go. So then if we have to cut the 100 Acre Wood paper, we want to make sure that the 100 Acre Wood paper is going to be going in the right direction. Okay, so just going to grab my bone folder, and we're just going to gently use these. Okay, so there are those three bands. Let's go ahead and apply the glue. See, if you just leave that little bit on the edge, then it fits perfectly when I go to glue these. My three cards, putting these together. I'm going to start with this one. I want to go ahead and cut this right at that line right there. Okay, so that's going to go there, and that's going to go there. It's going to go like that. We're just going to kind of put that to the edge like that. Now we want this to line up right there, so you see that tree right there. Okay, so there's our panels. Now Pooh Bear is going to sit right there under the tree. We have these two pieces here, and I have some that are going to be the acorns. Put these pieces together. Going to take some copper clay, and if you just brush this over, kind of keeps the relief. Okay, then I'm going to grab the leaves, and I'm going to grab some mossy meadow. Okay, for the next card, we're going to use these little scenes here, and I've already cut out a sentiment saying the best kind of days are spent together, and I used some, I believe this was Mossy Meadow right there. We're going to put that there, okay, and then we're going to cut this so that it fits right there. This one here, old friends are the best friends, that's what we're going to use. So let's go ahead, and we know that this is 2.5, so we want this to be at least 2, so we can see right there's 2.5, so we can cut kind of in between there. I'm going to bring in my little cutter. Let's cut this. I'm just going to go ahead and just cut off these borders here. I can have a little bit of border on the top, and I can have a little bit of border on the bottom. I definitely want to cut off this border here on the side. Okay, so that can fit nicely right there. I can cut off some more. I think I'm going to cut this off. I want this more like, instead of 2.5, maybe 2.25 right there. Okay, that's perfect. So that is cut about 2 and 3/8. 2 3/8. For the inside here, we have this wonderful scene. So we're going to, again, about 3 inches. So let's go ahead and cut off as much of these bottom border as we can. That's about 3 inches. So we may want to cut that maybe right about there. And it's going to have to be about 4 inches. So we're going to cut, we're going to cut up to there, and that's good enough right there. Cut that little piece off, and we're going to have that there. What we want to do is kind of right about there. Okay, for our final card, we're going to use one of the medallions, and we're using this wonderful piece of scenery that I'm going to cut in 2 pieces so that it can fit across our card. And the first piece is going to be cut about, I think it's going to be 2 1/4 wide, and we're just going to go ahead and trim that, and then the rest of the assembly is pretty much like the cards. So just sit back and enjoy. So there you have it. Here's the card I started with, and I used acetate as the band, and it was just simply using all the wonderful images from the DSP. So we created this one. This one I went ahead and used some cardstock and some DSP for the band, and there it is. And I embellished it with these tiny little bees, tiny bee trinkets, and I have that one. Then we created this one here, which Pooh Bear is looking over at the little tea party. Best friends or old friends are the best friends, and then you open it up. The best kind of days are the days spent together, and then you have Kanga standing there welcoming Pooh to the party. And then this one, I used the little fence dies, and Piglet and Pooh are walking into the woods. Old friends are the best friends, and then it shows them looking up. It never hurts to keep looking up. Now all of these were made with the Sweet Old Friends set that is part of the online exclusives for May. If you haven't already, please hit like. I work very hard on this content. So when you hit like and subscribe, it helps me, it helps my family, and it helps everyone who sees this, that this channel has good content. That is my goal. Now, all products are available in my online store. The Pooh products will be available in May. Go to my blog for project details, and if you're looking for a demo, please consider joining my team. Consider to join as a hobbyist and enjoy a 20% discount. If you are a demo and like my content, please support my channel by hitting like, share, and leave a comment. This is Kat Chancellor from Stamp Art Connection and StampArtConnection.com. Happy stamping.